what's happening, everyone? It is I, the man, the myth, the mustache, Tim here, and have I got a brand new video for you. Welcome to part 7 of What If Deku Had 100% OFA Remastered. I wanted to stop by and say hello, so please sit back and relax because you are in for a treat. With that out of the way, let's get this story going, shall we? A few minutes after All Might announced his retirement, Endeavor asked him, "What exactly does it mean to be the symbol of peace, All Might?" All Might looked at Endeavor, wondering exactly what he meant. Endeavor noticed this and continued, "I had the most wins under my belt as a hero compared to you. I took on way more villains than you, and even so, you were number one. You were number one, and you were the one who inspired confidence for people. You deterred crime, even if I was the one who defeated more villains. So tell me, what does it mean to be the symbol of peace, All Might?" All Might answered, "Being the symbol of peace will be different for you, Endeavor, as it was for me. There were plenty of strong heroes before I arrived. I came onto the scene and saw society. I saw it needed a pillar to support everyone, or you could also call it a light. Before me, people looked up to the heroes, but the heroes had nobody to look up to. I thought that was something that society needed, somebody who would inspire even the strongest. The reason I never stopped smiling is so I could inspire everybody, but to answer your question, the symbol is somebody who has to inspire confidence to even the strongest of heroes, and has to be the one who will defeat every villain in his way, whatever it takes. The most important thing, in my opinion, is to smile, to show you won't lose. But you as the next symbol should do it your way." Endeavor looked at All Might and thought about what he said. All Might continued, "I'm sorry. I probably rambled on a bit. I hope I made myself clear." Endeavor turned to leave and said, "You made yourself very clear, All Might. You have just given me a lot to think about." A few days later, the students returned to class after the internships were over. When Midoriya arrived at school, he walked into class and saw everybody talking about their internships, as well as the fight between All Might and All for One that they saw on the news. Soon after, All Might entered the classroom. The students were not used to seeing him in his deflated form, so it took them a few minutes to realize who he was. Once everyone calmed down, All Might said, "Get ready, everybody. We're doing hero fundamental training. We're doing a rescue training lesson in Ground Gamma." Ida asked, "Why would we be going there for training, sir? Wouldn't it be smarter to go to the unforeseen simulation joint?" All Might responded, "Normally, yes. But this time we're doing something a bit different." The students got their suits on and convened at Ground Gamma. There, All Might, who was wearing a sweatshirt that looked like his uniform, explained the exercise. "You will all be split into groups of 5. You'll have to maneuver through the environment to reach the person in need. In this case, that is me. The person who saves me is the one who will win the exercise." And Suyu piped in, "So it's basically a race?" To which All Might responded, a bit embarrassed, "Yeah." All Might told the students of the first round, who were Midoriya, Ida, Ojiro, Sero, and Ashido, to get in position while he goes to hide in the area. A few minutes later, All Might pushed a button and some speakers sounded a noise that told the students to start. Midoriya donned full cowling at 10%, maneuvering through the environment easily. Everybody looked at Midoriya surprised at how he was restraining himself so as not to break the environment around him. Bakugo realized that Midoriya's moves were imitating him a bit, and he looked at Midoriya in disgust. The exercise ended in 87 seconds. Midoriya won, with Sero having almost reached All Might. Sero was disappointed. Man, I lost. But this environment was made for me." While the exercise was going on, there was a video making its way around the internet. A creepy video which inspired followers of Stain to join Shigaraki's organization, the League of Villains. In a bar, Shigaraki was recruiting new recruits that were brought to him by Jiran. After the rescue training race was finished, All Might asked to speak to Midoriya in private. Midoriya agreed and went with him. All Might asked, "Remember what I told you when I gave you my power?" Midoriya said, "Eat this," while making an All Might face. All Might quickly responded, "No, not that. But nonetheless, I told you about this being the power that has been passed from generation to generation. I think it is time you know the whole story. One for All came from a separate quirk called All for One, the symbol of ultimate evil, just as One for All is supposed to be the one of ultimate good. I don't know the whole story, but from what I know, there were originally 2 brothers. One of them had the power to give and take quirks. The other was known to be quirkless. The older brother gave his younger brother a stockpiling quirk so he would have a way to control him. But unbeknownst to him, his younger brother had the power to pass on his quirk, useless on its own. But together, the quirks combined and made what we now know as One for All." Midoriya asked, "What happened to the big brother? To All for One?" All Might answered, I defeated him once and for all a couple of days ago. He drowned in the river. But the thing is, something far more sinister is happening right now. His successor is Tamura Shigaraki, my predecessor's grandson. I believe he now has the quirk known as All for One. And if I'm right, you are the one who will have to defeat him and the league he's been building. Midoriya nodded and told All Might, "As your successor, I will defeat this great evil, so you can rest easy, All Might." "Thanks, young Midoriya," said All Might. A couple of weeks passed, and the students now found themselves freaking out about the final exams. Ashido and Kaminari were freaking out the most, since they hadn't studied. Midoriya wasn't very worried, as he did pretty well in the midterm. He just wondered what they would be doing for the practical portion of the exam. Midoriya, Uraraka, Asui, Todoroki, and Ida go to the cafeteria for lunch. While they were having lunch and discussing what they would be doing for the practical exam, Monoma approached them and began taunting them, saying, "I heard you faced the hero killer. Wow, you guys just attract the bad guys, don't you? Did you shit your pants when you faced him?" Midoriya muttered, "I think he did when he faced us." Monoma asked, "What was that? Are you agreeing with me?" Kendo came up behind Monoma and smacked him in the back of the head, knocking him out. She said, "I'm sorry about that. He tends to go off the rails and needs to be put in check. I got distracted. I heard what you were saying. If it's about the practical exams, we'll be facing robots like those of the entrance exam. A friend of mine who is an upperclassman told me." The students relaxed, thinking if it was robots, it's gonna be easy. In the next few days, the students studied and practiced and studied some more. Sero, Kaminari, Ashido, Ojiro, and Jiro studied with Yaoyorozu. Kirishima studied with Bakugo and Midoriya alone at home. In a bar not too far away, Shigaraki talked to his new army of villains, his strongest league. He had all the villains from Tartarus and those who were attracted by Stain. Kurogiri came to speak to Shigaraki. "There is a man of prestigious organization called the 8 Precepts of Death who wants to speak with you, Tamura Shigaraki. Shall I arrange a meeting?" Shigaraki said,
"Yes. Since Master's death, we need to organize ourselves better. The symbol of peace is gone. It's time for darkness to reign, so we need to expand our organization. By the way, how's the other plan going, and the procurement of our new headquarters? This place is getting quite crowded."
Kurogiri replied, "I made contact with the old ally I told you about. And as for the new headquarters, it should be ready in the next few days, before the first phase of the plan begins." Shigaraki smiled.
"Good. Keep me informed."
Back at the school, the students were taking the written exam. Once everyone was finished and felt happy with how they did, they all grabbed their uniforms and made their way to the building where they would be taking their practical exams. And that's our video for the day, so thank you all for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed it. Before we go, there's a little bit of housekeeping I want to go over with you. First, We the Celestials has many other channels for your entertainment and viewing pleasures. All the information you'll need is right below in the description. So please feel free to check out all the incredible content and projects our team creates. Second, on behalf of We the Celestials, I want to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details are also in the description. Please give the writer and the editor some love. They do a lot of work here. But that's it for today's video, so thank you all for watching and have an amazing day. And as always, be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and stay awesome. This has been Tim, Mustache out.